Welcome to Choices with Jeanette. I'm Jeanette Harris, and thank you so much for watching Choices with Jeanette. You know, we have some great times on HCC TV, and you may see me on some other stations as well. So tell your friends to watch Choices with Jeanette, and I really appreciate you all watching. My guest is Yolanda Smith, and I'm so glad to have her. Hi, Yolanda.
Hello, glad to be here.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
How's everything going?
Everything is going great. Everything is amazing. I'm so excited at everything that's going on right now in my life.
Right. Now, how do you juggle all the things that you do? You're a fitness trainer.
I'm a fitness trainer. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I train other women who are interested in competing on the bodybuilding stage. I also train other women that just want to be healthier, to get their bodies. They have goals. I train them as well. I have a full-time job as well. I sell concrete and building materials, and I'm a motivational speaker.
You sell concrete and building materials?
I do. That's my full-time 8 to 5 job. So.
Wow.
Yes.
And then you have one more.
The other thing that I do, I'm a mother. I have 2 adult children. That's the most rewarding thing of my life. I have a 27-year-old daughter, and I have a soon-to-be 24-year-old son.
I told you I have a 27-year-old son, so they might be able to get together.
There you go. Hey, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. And the other job that I was talking about was, don't you do some kind of advocacy or?
Yes, I'm real big on health and wellness. I'm very active in the community. I do a lot of, I have free things that I do as well. I do mentor women. I do, like I mentioned, motivational speaking. I do meal plans and things like that. So I do a lot of things just to kind of, talk about health and wellness because it's a passion of mine. I've experienced so many, upsets in my family with different members of my family, going through or dealing with illnesses that could have been prevented, depending on because of their lifestyle, things they were taught, things that were passed down, bad behaviors that were passed down through generations. So I believe in changing the trend, passing down good trends at this point. So I've learned a lot, I've seen a lot, so I want to pass down good behaviors to my children. My daughter, she's the oldest. She grew up watching me teach fitness programs, boot camps, step aerobics, anything. I was very active at Justin Robinson Community Center, Marion Community Center.
That's where you've seen me.
It could be.
That's where you've seen
Justin
me.
Robinson.
Because that Cashmere was just a little bit too far north and a little bit too much to the east.
Okay.
But Justin Robinson, I used to go to Justin Robinson to the gym all the time.
Okay, so that's probably where Gretchen Roberson was one of the original trainers there. She taught me a lot, and then I took over her class at one point. So from there, I built my own brand, and I never stopped. It's been 20 plus years now. So.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So we want to get into. You say you do the meal plans. What do you recommend for the meal?
Well, basically what I do, I ask a series of questions to most of my clients, if they want to get healthier, as far as getting leaner, if they want to build muscle. And there's an app out there, everything you can Google and get information. So I go by macronutrients. There's not one meal plan that's perfect for everybody. Everybody's body type, everybody's goals are different, age. You go by age, your height, your weight, and kind of go from there, and your activity level, etc. And from there, it kicks out your macronutrients, a certain amount of carbs, a certain amount of fats, a certain amount of protein. So from there, I typically put meal plans together that equal out to the appropriate macronutrients for that respective person. I'm not certified in nutrition, but what I do is I kind of go back to the basics. I give most people a basic format to follow. And typically, if you follow that format and you do the basic things, you want to stay away from the fried foods. You want to keep everything in its natural and original state. Anytime we're dealing with meat, of course, you want to cook it. But the best way to cook it and prepare it is to either bake it or boil it. You want to do it that way. And sometimes grilling, depending on what type of oils you're using. So from there, it's portion control. And then you want to stick with vegetables, the fresh vegetables.
And as fresh as you can get them.
Now it's really better to go to your farmer's market and get those fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and just kind of, we put a little seasoning in there, try to stay away from the salt, stick with like the herbs and the spices and things like that to season your food. Just going back to the basics.
Back to the basics.
Yes.
So, stay with the basics on the food. Eat a Mediterranean diet whenever you can.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, whenever you can.
Yes.
I know I had cauliflower yesterday that tastes like mashed potatoes. And I was so glad to get it. I was like, oh my goodness, and I didn't have that guilt when I finished eating it. So that was good. What else do you recommend for us to do?
As far as aside from eating, so God created our bodies, our limbs, our legs, our arms. He created it to move. He didn't create us to have a sedentary lifestyle, and a sedentary lifestyle is basically being complacent. It's not moving. Most of us have a demanding lifestyles where we're busy on the computer, we're busy, doing things that require us to sit and be still. So we have to take a conservative effort to move, to get our bodies mobile. And most people say, well, I just have time for 30 minutes a day. Well, if that's the case, you want to maximize the 30 minutes that you have to get some movement done. So you can do basic things, and I'm pretty sure we're going to demonstrate some things later, but you can do basic things like jumping jacks, jogging in place, lunges, just basically moving. Even if I tell a lot of women, they say, well, I don't have enough time. I have small kids, I have a husband, I have to cook, I have to work. We have a whole list of things, but I'm a firm believer because I've been there. Even though my 2 children are adults, once upon a time, my children were athletes. So as a single mom, I divorced early when my kids were young. As a single mom, my children were, extremely active in sports. So I was there. I took them to practice. I traveled with them. However, I had my own business at the same time. I did work in corporate America, so I did cook for my children. And believe it or not, I was in college as well, doing online college, studying for my bachelor's degree in business management. What I learned is you have to set a plan. You have to have a goal. You have to wake up every day with an agenda. If we just wake up and we don't know what we're going to do.
The body doesn't say, you know what, I really want to do some exercise.
You have to just do it.
Well, I'm not good with exercise. I am when I was living in the mid-rise and you go downstairs to the gym and catch the elevator, that was cute.
Right.
But to get in the car for me and to leave my house and to go to the gym, it's not too cute for me. But what I do enjoy so much is cutting the yard and cutting the hedges and raking and things like that. So I try to do at least 2 hours of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so and I have to pace it, because if I do the hedges today, they cut the yard tomorrow, and then I may cut the backyard the next day, and then, so I piece that out. When I'm doing that, then I kind of get the exercise that I need. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. The fact that you're moving is what it's all about. It's called physical activity, and physical means movement. It means that you're not sitting still, being idle. So in those cases, those are your basic things that you can do, or things around the house. When we're sweeping, mopping, just moving, as you mentioned, doing those things around the house. But we also can take it a little bit further. You're still at the house. You can get a chair. You can stand up and down and say, okay, I'm going to do this 20 times. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to do it another 20 times. So you can do it 4 sets of 20, standing and sitting, standing and sitting. I mean, there's some basic things you can do at home. Knee raises, you can stand and lift those knees. You can do things with your arms, and it's so many things you can do.
The thing with doing it the way I'm doing it, you don't concentrate. When you go to the gym, you concentrate on certain areas of your body. Because I was looking in the mirror the other day, and I was like, that looked like my mama's arm. I was like, oh my God. Then I lost some weight, and then I was like, oh no, my thighs. When you're out there in the yard, you don't concentrate on certain areas. So I did incorporate some exercises in the house. Like I do some Pilates.
Yes, Pilates is very good.
For the
a very
core.
Good exercise, yes.
To help with the core. And I do a lot of, lately, because I don't see the results yet, but I've been doing a lot of waist exercises. And there's
Okay.
nothing like having a strong core.
Exactly. And so, and you're absolutely correct. There are some exercises, once again, I'll demonstrate later, that is very good. The core is very, very important. Is, you know, as we get older, I tell people all the time, I'll be 50 this year, and a lot of people don't believe me, but I said, I've done so many things to strategically train my body to look a certain kind of way. So, and we have to be strategic in our daily exercises as well, especially if we want to get a certain look. So a lot of twisting things, when you're twisting, is what helps to bring that core in. You have your obliques, you have your abs in the front.
Now, what am I going to get if I twist?
So twisting, you have your obliques on the side. So if you do a lot of twisting movements, it's going to bring that waistline in and tighten it up. So there's an exercise that's called rotating planks. And as you do it, do you know what that is? It sounds like you do.
Planks, period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, planks is engaging the core because you have to use your core to hold yourself up. So if you're rotating while you're in a plank move, that's going to actually bring that core in even tighter, and it's going to put more emphasis on those obliques. So there's so many basic movements out there, things you can do.
So will you tell me I want to know what to do for here.
For your arms?
Right here. Because I
Okay.
know this right here will catch that swing and
Well,
the flapping.
exactly.
You know, with the weights.
So
But up here, I had never seen that, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, let's see my mom. Let's see my mom.
well, the thing about it, you have biceps, which is the front part of the arm, and then you have your triceps, which is the back part of the arm. So what you want to do, anything that's resistant going against, the muscle is going to actually make it work, and it's going to cause it to constrict, and it's going to bring blood to that area. So that's what makes it get hard, and it kind of takes away the fat in that area. Now a lot of people don't have hand weights at home. Some people who have canned goods, or if you have water jugs with water, you can use the water jugs as resistance, or you can make a small investment and go to your local academy, Walmart, wherever, and you can buy what's called resistance bands. Those are very inexpensive, they last forever, and you can use those to create that resistance. And then you can do tricep dips, and I can demonstrate that later with a basic chair. And that's going to give you that tightness that you need in the back of your arm. When you wave and you stop waving and it's still waving, that part back there, so it kind of helps with that.
Well, what happened to us was Mrs. Obama,
Those
Michelle,
arms.
started that. Because before Michelle did that, we didn't wear sleeveless clothes on TV. It wasn't okay to do that.
Right.
She came out with that, and then Mrs. Trump, she came out with the whole shoulder out.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so we're saying we can wear it all now. So, but you got to have that body in shape to do it, and so I want you to concentrate on the upper body.
Okay.
So basically, the arms. If you'll show us what to do with the arms.
I will.
My concern is this area right in here. What would you suggest?
Okay, so for that area, that's considered your bicep, the top part of your arm. And what I recommend is a simple resistance band. You can buy these anywhere, pretty much. So you're going to place one foot here to kind of hold it sturdy, and then your hands are going to be right here, and then you're just going to lift. Feel that resistance. You're going to lift as equal, even with your shoulders, and then you're going to go down. It's going to come up and go down. And what's happening is it's bringing that lactic acid to your bicep, and it's kind of helping to burn fat, and it's going to build muscle in that area. So you want to do these for people that are just starting. I would suggest anywhere from like 8 to 10 reps, and you can do it 3 to 4 times, whatever is comfortable for you. And you just continue to do this, and it's going to help. And then you can even have it close to your body, or you can bring it out further here. Same thing, up and down with those resistance bands.
Thank
So
you,
that's what I
Michelle
recommend
Obama.
for those. Yeah, she has beautiful arms, and
But
trust
thank
me.
you for making everyone else join the party.
Well, that's a good thing. She's leaving some good marks for
She
us.
left a good mark for us.
Yes, yes. And so to accompany the bicep, you also want to work the back of the arm. You want to make the arm nice and curvy and shapely. So in order to do that, you're going to go ahead and just hold this one as a, just to kind of hold it here, but you're gonna take that back arm, it's gonna take back. You're gonna come down and kick that arm back. It's called a tricep, a kickback, a tricep kickback. So you're gonna take it here and just take the arm all the way back here. And that's gonna help with the back of the arm. You don't want the front of the arm to be nice and toned, and then when we wave, and just waving at the bottom, so you want those arms to be nice and firm. Mm-hmm. So also when working the bicep and the tricep, you wanna work on the shoulders. It's getting hot outside, it's warm, and we like to show our arms. We mentioned earlier how Michelle Obama is bringing the sleeveless look back, and she looks amazing in the process. So another exercise we can do, once again, using the resistance band, is just a side raise. It's just lifting that arm to the side, just like this. It's gonna bring some blood to the shoulder, and it's gonna help to shape that shoulder and get those muscles nice and tight in the shoulder. So that's a side raise. And then finally, for your shoulders, you wanna do a front raise. You don't have to pull very hard, you don't have to lift it very high, just the front raise, just like this. Mm. And once again, you always want to start off, if you're a beginner, you want to start off with 8 to 10 reps, and then you can do it however many times. I always say 3 to 4 sets. And you just keep going here. Then you do one arm, and then you go with the next arm. You want to keep that balance. You want to do the same amount.
Always keep that balance.
Yes, you want to do the same amount on one side that you do on the other side.
Okay. So what about the back of the arm?
So the back of the arm, as we mentioned before, is going to be what's called a tricep kickback. It's here, just like this. And it's engaging that tricep. I don't know if you can see the back of the muscle, the back of the arm right there, that tricep. And most people in bodybuilding, we call it the horseshoe. So it's just a tricep kickback. So very simple moves, things you can do at home. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to be a professional bodybuilder. These are just basic things you can do while you're watching your favorite TV show, just standing up, using to get that resistance band. And the same thing, if you don't have a resistance band, you can get some canned goods or anything that you can hold in your hand and do the same motions.
But the resistance band can't be that expensive.
It's not. You can buy these at any Walmart, Academy, any sporting goods store. You can find these resistance bands. They even have them at Marshall's now. They try to make it convenient for us. We just have to go out there and purchase them. Very simple, very doable. You can take them with you anywhere. So.
Okay. Is there anything we can do about the girls?
The girls, yes. We want to keep the girls at attention.
Hi.
We don't want the girls looking down. We want to keep them at attention. So something that we can do, I'll show you a couple of variations, and a lot of people don't like to do them, is push-ups. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate.
That is what I used to do.
There you go.
I was wondering, what was that exercise
It's called
I used
push-up.
to do?
It's called a push-up.
Okay.
So I'll show you 2 variations. I'll do one on the floor, which is a full body push-up, and then I'll do what they say, girly push-ups. I don't believe in girly push-ups. I like to do push-ups. However, if your body is not as strong as you'd like it to be, you can definitely do a modified version. So full body push-up, you want to make sure you position your hands directly, just a little bit away from your body. It's going to take it down and push up, down, up, just like this. Do as many as you can. You don't want your butt up here. You don't want that sway in your back like this. You want everything to be nice and straight, down and up. Now, to take it down, a modified version.
You are doing so good.
Take it down to your knee and just go down and up, just like this. It's more of a modified version. Same thing. So that helps your chest. It gets all across the front part of your body.
Okay.
So, yes, keep the girls up nice. You don't want the girls looking down. You want to keep them looking up.
Once the girls go down, can they ever be brought back up?
They can be brought back up. You have
Get
muscle.
out of here.
Yes, you have muscle that's under that breast. And so those muscles can always be revived.
The breast muscles can be.
Yes.
But that sag is still sagging down there.
Well, once you that sag starts to sag because that muscle is not tight.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
You know what and you have good under here.
Under here? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. What do you do for that?
Part of it is I smile a lot, but you can do exercises
I do this.
for your chin. Yeah, you could like here.
And I've been doing it for years.
I don't really do it a lot. I don't know. I don't know if that part is genetic.
Good under here.
It's probably genetics and just tighten up your face, doing those different things I don't do it often, I'm just
Even
going to
when
be
I'm
honest.
watching TV, I'll be laying back and doing it. I'm serious. That looks so funny when it doesn't.
But
look,
it's still a muscle under there, so you use it, you don't use it, you lose it, you use it, it stays nice and tight. I'm just a firm believer that doing those things that you know to do that can defy gravity, it can defy nature.
We're going to defy you, gravity.
Yes.
We're going to defy you.
Yes.
You all are going to be looking at the show and you're going to say, Jeanette looks better now than she did 10 years
That's the
ago.
whole point. That's what it's all about.
Okay,
Woo-hoo.
now, the waist.
I'll show you a couple of moves here that can kind of help to tie in that waistline and get it nice and tight. So it's called a rotating plank. I'll do two different variations of it. So basically, the plank is where you're going to use your core to hold your whole body up. So
But you got to start off with the baby plank. I saw you a few minutes ago. I'm going to be in that camera time. Okay.
So we'll start off with the beginner's version, and then I'll show you, you may be advanced, I don't know, but I'll show you another way, another version of it as well. So you want to start here on your side, elbow here, and you want to just push your body up, just like this, and hand is up. Then you're going to rotate under your body and bring it back up. This is called a rotating plank. Here and here, here and here.
Pretty waistline. Keep saying pretty
Here,
waistline.
Pretty waistline, pretty waistline. So if you want to, you say, okay, I'm not really getting the maximum, workout here. I need a little bit more. Then you want to go all the way up here. You're still using your abs. You're using your midsection to balance you up. So it's here, and then just reach up under your body. Here, 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 and then you want to repeat that movement as many times. I always say 8 to 10 times it's a good place to start, and then you want to do it like 3 or 4 times. And then you have your basic, can't really do that, but you have your basic crunches where you line on the floor, you're crunching up and down, and then you have your bicycle movements as well on the floor. So those are some basic exercises for getting the waistline nice and tight. So you definitely want to incorporate those into your training.
You know when I noticed I needed to do something about my waistline? Out during the hurricane. Mm-hmm. You know, all the newscasters were on forever.
Yes.
And I kept waiting on that stomach to go ahead on and relax. Because when you let it go, it just it falls out there. And I kept waiting on that stomach, and that stomach never moved. Mm-hmm. And I said, I need that kind of stomach. And that's when I started saying I want to do something about my stomach. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, having your core nice and tight is kind of, a lot of people don't realize how much, your abs, how big of a part it plays in your overall appearance, your overall symmetry.
I don't care what you have on.
Yeah, it shows. Yeah, it shows. And that's very, very important to have a nice, strong core. And versus, you can have your nice arms. A lot of women, some women have nice legs and everything else is a mess. So you want to try to make sure you keep everything in good balance. You want to keep the physique nicely proportioned. So you want to have nice arms, you want to have nice legs, you want to have a tight core. You want to get the whole package, 36, 24, 36. So.
And I like to be a little heavy. Mm-hmm. So if you want it a little bit heavier, you can roll with that, but it can still be balanced.
Yes, of course.
Be proportionate.
I'm going to start with some exercises that's going to help with lift the butt up, and then it's going to we're going to do some exercises for that. So once again, this is another little gadget I got from the store. You just put these here on your legs. It's going to give you a little resistance. Okay. Then we're going to start off on our knees. So here, back is nice and flat. Pull your stomach in. So we're going to start with one leg up. You want your heel to be facing up, and then you just kick out. Bring that knee in, kick that knee out. And what this band is doing is giving me a little resistance, okay? And this is a good exercise to help to keep that butt up. And then you can switch legs, same thing.
I know that works.
Yes.
That
switch
works.
legs, just like that, okay? So that's another exercise you can use and incorporate to help the butt. Now here, it's another exercise called side lunges. It kind of helps with those saddlebags that a lot of us women, we have as we get older from having children, from sitting down a lot. You know, some of it is genetics, but this is a good exercise to tone it. So here you just step out, squat, step in. Gonna step out, squat, step in. Out, squat, in. Step out, squat, in. Then you can just switch sides. So that was to one side and you just go to the other side. Same movement.
On the squat, how
Yes.
can you make sure you're not doing those improperly?
Okay.
Because that is real important.
Exactly. So what I do, these are real inexpensive. It's just a little band. Kind of give you, it kind of helps with giving you that right balance, and it kind of helps to make sure you're doing it properly. So you just get these, put them right here on your thighs, just like this right here. And then you want to position your feet right under your hips, and just bring them out just a half an inch away from your hips. And I'll go here from the side. So what you want to do, you don't want to lean too forward. You don't want to take it back. So you want to just hold it here and pretend that you're sitting in a chair, just like this. You're sitting in a chair. You want to put the weight of your body in your heels. You want to drive down to your heels. So
put the weight in the heels.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't want to be leaning towards where your toes are up. You want to squat, keep the weight in your heels, squeeze up. Sit down in that chair, squeeze up. Sit down in that chair, squeeze up. Now, what I do a lot of times with my clients who have issues with balance, I do have some older clients, I get a chair and I set it there and I have them to tap that chair. When they feel that chair, they got to come back up. So they just go down, tap that chair, come back up. And you just do as many as you need to do.
I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to try some of those. I really am. I don't know about that. I don't know about that plank with the,
The rotating plank.
The rotating plank. But I remember it was something I used to do that kept me firm up here, and I kept saying, "What?"
And it's that push-up. It's the
It's the
push-up.
push-up. I'm
Yes.
gonna have to go back to the park, get back on there and do those push-ups. I'm Jeanette Harris, and thank you so much for watching Choices with Jeanette. You know, in November of 2018, I would have been doing Choices with Jeanette for 20 years. I'm only 26. How did I do it? I'll tell you later.
Hi there. Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do? This is your soul man to be with you until I get through. I want you to stand by and don't have no fear, because the soul man is here.
Although no one seems to know for sure, Early Wright just might be the first black disc jockey to work in the Mid-South, maybe even the entire South. By his account, he's been on the air about 48 years. According to WROX station logs, it's closer to 50. Either way you figure it, Early Wright has been spinning blues records in Clarksdale, Mississippi since the Great Depression.